Hi guys and dolls, how are you? So here is the rules and regulations that I think need to be applied to men on dating sites because, my God, really? One of the things that I didn't put on my list that I probably should have put on my list is don't be stingy. The last person I was with was extremely stingy with money, okay? Won't even put money into his own church, okay? He's a stingy bastard, so don't tolerate that. Don't tolerate that. If you have to ask a man, when are you taking me out again? There's your sign. I mean, there's men who will take women around the world, buy them diamond bracelets, pay for their fucking rent, and I can't even get a date paid for. You know what I'm saying? No, the person will do it initially because they're a narcissist and they're in the love bombing phase, pretending that they're a nice person and they're generous, and we all know that that doesn't last. Okay? It's all part of the charade. Okay? So if someone's stingy, if you're a stingy man, stop dating. Stop dating, because there's no woman that's going to be okay with dating, but she has to pay for her own dates because you got problems with money. As in, you hold too tight to yours. Women don't like that shit. It's not cute. Okay, so on the profiles, do not talk politics. Don't shut up. And I usually don't say that word because it's rude, but shut up about politics. Nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear if you belong to this political party, then don't even talk to me. With that attitude, I see why you're single. Shut up about it. People get too excited about that conversation. They get hostile. They want to fight and cuss you out. And it's just not. It's just politics, abortion, religion. Shut up about it. Don't mention the body parts you love. I've seen that on profiles. If you're straight, and hopefully he's straight, you better check. Make sure, because he might not be straight. But find out if he's straight, if he'll be honest with you about that. And if he's a straight man, of course he loves legs or boobs or butt or whatever. That's normal. There's no need for you to announce that. You're not 12. Knock it off. Don't be pushy. If a woman doesn't feel comfortable with something, move on. If she doesn't feel comfortable giving you her phone number, do not push the issue. Just say, well, hey, I love talking to you. Let's continue to talk. And when you feel comfortable, you could go ahead and give me your number, or here's mine if you feel more comfortable calling me. Don't be pushy. That's not cute. You're coming off like a predator. Don't do it. Don't mention anything sexual. We already talked about that. Oh, I like boobs. Okay, sit down. Eat your lollipop, because you're obviously not holding up to date because you're acting stupid. Get an online dictionary. Learn basic grammar. You'd be surprised how many people cannot spell. Even people that went to college, they can't spell. What is going on? Don't. Get an online dictionary, okay? Because if you're on your, and I've seen this on a profile, I'm looking for a women. You mean a woman? As in W-O-M-A-N, or women as in plural, W-O-M-E-N, because women don't want to be part of a harem, so learn to spell and learn how to enunciate and pronounce correctly. Learn how to hold a conversation that they'll talk for 2 days and then they go silent. Where do you live? What do you do? And then he doesn't know what else to say. If it's not sexual, he doesn't know what to say. Brush up on your communication skills so that you're interesting and a person wants to talk to you again. Okay? Have recent pics. Groom yourself. That should be a given. When was the last time you had a haircut? When was the last time you cut your beard? Come on. Come on. Women like you tidy. Don't make... Oh my freaking God. I cannot tell you how many times I saw this, okay? This is why I have to say this. I shouldn't have to say this to adults, but I have to. Don't make stupid faces to the camera. Normal women do not date children. Normal women don't do that. So doing, to the camera, cut that shit out. That's immature. And yes, I've seen it, or else I wouldn't be saying it. Cut it out. It's not cute. In a group picture, show people who you are. I'm the one with the yellow shirt, or the green shirt, or the tall one, or whatever. Let people know who you are. They don't want to look at a group pic. That goes for women too, but I'm just talking about men right now. Show people who you are. Okay, I've seen this before. Y'all gonna trip. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I'm so serious. It makes me tired to even say it, okay? If you look angry, sad, or depressed, that is not a turn on. And I've seen all of the above. I've seen guys looking at the camera like this. What? Or they look mean. I mentioned that before. That's not cute. Don't do that. Don't say my children come first. Don't say that. Because people have to learn how to make a circle of love instead of an itemized list. How many times have I said that? You put people in a, let's say it out loud, circle of love, not an itemized list. Nobody wants to be second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th, 14th, 20th. Nobody wants to be on the bottom of the list. Okay? It's a given that if something happens to your children, obviously that's something you have to address. You're the parent. But if you choose to be with your kids more than you want to go on a date, you're not ready to date. Okay? So if you have them every other weekend, on the weekends that you don't have them, don't sit at your house like this because you can't function because they're not there. You're not ready to date. Okay? If you're ready to have adult time where you go and do adult things, go out and have a good time as an adult, then when the kids are not there, go do your thing. But if you hide behind your children, and yes, women have done this too, men have told me that women have done this too. If you hide behind your children and you use them as an excuse to not go anywhere, oh, my kid just got the flu. Really? They got the instantaneous flu? Wow, that's not good. Come on. If you're not ready to date, don't fucking date. It's just that simple and it's that easy. Yes, I've been through this recently and he got fired. He got fired. Okay, so he wanted to know what I did now, and I said life coach, which I do coaching, mostly relationship. And I wish I had business cards because I had a potential client the other day, and I was a ding dong because I don't have any business cards made, but I will have to make arrangements to get them made or do them on the computer because, even when I was with this person, if I wanted business cards, they would have never gotten done because my needs were never important. Anyway, moving right along. So he asked me more about that, which is fine. What do you do? What do you help people with? I said, well, usually life things, but a lot of times it's relationship things. Well, how successful are you with that? I said, well, I'm trudging along, I'm, just kind of getting clients here and there. How profitable is that? Okay, that's where he's taking it too far. I am not going to get married to you. We do not have a future. We do not have to be discussing finances. And frankly, you know where I'm going with this. My finances are none of your motherfucking business. You don't ask somebody about their finances. We don't have a future, bitch. Why are you asking me that? Don't get me wrong. He asked a lot of good questions. But he also did the other individual's move where when I asked him, I don't like to text all the time. I'm not a frequent texter. I know everybody's addicted to texting, but I'm not. Plus, it hurts my fingers. It makes my fingers tender. I have a chronic pain condition, which I don't tell people that because they get dumb in the head. They get dumber. So I said, call me. Let's do the old-fashioned thing. Call me. He wasn't going to do that. He's not going to tell you he's not going to do it. He's just not going to do it. He'll just start texting and texting and texting and texting. My fingers get tender when I text too much. Not only that, but you're asking a gabillion questions that you can easily ask on the phone and get an instant answer to instead of, I don't know why. I don't understand why people can't open their goddamn mouth anymore. Open your mouth and talk. Get on the goddamn phone and talk. Is that so hard to do? You can't even commit to a conversation on the phone. How in the hell are you going to commit to a relationship? You can't do the little shit. The teeny shit. You can't do that. How the hell are you going to commit to a relationship? You can't communicate. That is the number one thing that relationships have to have. Communication. You can't even do that. Honey, take your profile down and go do some self-help books and look at videos and learn about yourself and how to communicate, how to talk to women, what topics are off limits. And asking someone about their money is none of your goddamn business. Obviously I didn't go in details, but that's a red flag. We don't have a future. We are not merging finances together. I am not having an account with you in the bank. I haven't even met your ass in person. Don't freaking go there. Don't go there. And I suspect I'm going to go there. Because of the passive aggressiveness, if a person is passive aggressive about one thing, you ask them to do one thing and they don't do it, they deliberately do other things, so far as I'm concerned, that's a deal breaker. Unless they forgot. And some people legitimately did forget. But you ask them to call and they refuse to call, they just keep on texting endlessly. This is who this person is, potentially. Or you just tell them again in case they did forget. Like I told you before, I need to be able to talk to you on the phone. My fingers get tender. Passive aggressiveness is a deal breaker. Unless the person forgot, it's a deal breaker. So, I don't know, just watch people real close. Ladies, put your boundaries in place. Make sure your boundaries are in place. If they're talking too sexy because he's acting like a horny feet teenager, then you tell him, you know what, I got to be honest with you, I'm not looking for that right now. I want to get to know somebody and I want to have a relationship. Unless you just want to get physical, and that's your choice, you've grown. But don't allow people to shove your boundaries out of the way and stomp on your toes and do what they want to damn do, because that's not what you want to sign up for. Because if you get involved with someone like that, your entire relationship will be what they want. And I've already been through that. I just got rid of somebody for that. So you don't want that. You don't want that. You just don't want that. You don't want stinginess. You don't want selfishness. You don't want someone disregarding what you want, even on a small scale. Because if they can't do the small shit, they damn sure can't do the bigger stuff. Like, I'm going into labor. Okay, well, I get off at 5. Okay, well, the baby might come within the next hour. Well, if the baby comes before I get there, call me. If he can't be there for little things, he damn sure can't be there for the big things. So you have to watch what they're willing to do, what they're not willing to do, how passive aggressive they are. Watch that closely. If the person will not take you on a date, and they're financially taking advantage of you because you're buying groceries all the time, because you're spending weekends together, and that person is going to take because they're loving the fact that they don't have to buy any goddamn groceries. They're just a taker. If a person is a taker and they don't want to give, they don't want to reciprocate, that's another deal breaker. So, what a person does or doesn't do is how they value you. And if they're not going above and beyond for you, even on a small scale, like, babe, you got a medium popcorn. Why don't you get a large? If you want a large, I know this is your weakness. I know popcorn's your kryptonite. Get a large. Or I noticed you said the other day you wanted, you had a craving for M&Ms. I see that they have an M&Ms. Go for it. It's little things that make a difference. It's those little things, those little caring things that people do, those considerate things that people do. If they don't do those things, they don't value you. If they don't do what you ask them to do, text me, don't text, call. They can't do that. They don't want to take you on a date. You have to ask the person, when are we going on a date? That means a person doesn't find you valuable. And narcissists will never, ever, ever, ever value you, because they're in love with their own ego and they're in love with themselves. So once you see past the I'm a great person routine, you will start to see the real them. And sometimes it takes a few weeks, sometimes it takes a day. I picked up on it on one date. With one person, it was one date. What else? But after they feel comfortable with you and you feel comfortable with them, they start revealing who they are, and they will start doing deal breakers left and right, left and right, left and right. And how many deal breakers do you want to put up with before you're like, you know what? I asked you to do this, you still haven't done it, you don't respect my needs, and I'm out of here. I need someone who respects my needs. I need someone who values me as a human being. Narcissists cannot value anybody. They're fucking robots. They're dead inside. Not when it comes to their emotions, but when it comes to yours, your emotions are, your concerns are irrelevant. The guy that asked me, he was divorced before. He asked me about my finances. I suspect he's a narc, and I'll tell you why. Why would you need to know specifically what a person's been through in their childhood? Why do you need to know that? I don't tell people because it's none of your business. It's none of your business. Well, how was your childhood? And I kind of gave a vague answer. And he said, well, what did you experience in your childhood? So he's pushing. And I said, well, to be quite honest with you, I had a better relationship with my grandparents. They were better parents to me. Anybody with a brain in their head would say, okay, I probably don't want to go there because that's a sensitive topic. Or it's something that is a little too deep to go into, considering I don't even know this person. I haven't even met them in person yet. But a narcissist is trying to push and grab for whatever they can get so they can use it later in an argument or shove it in your face later. You know, y'all have a disagreement and they're like, well, that's why your parents never loved you. At least my parents love me. Obviously they didn't. If you turned into a narcissist, they fucked your ass up. But anyway, move right along. I suspect he's a narc. He kept pushing for me to give details about my childhood. He kept pushing for details about, tell me what went wrong in your previous relationships. He's trying too hard to get too much bad information. I said, they just didn't work out. I've not met the person that I'm compatible with. I know, but what went wrong? What specifically? Again, that's what I think about your boundaries. That's what I think about questions I shouldn't ask. That's what this person, the guy, he just didn't give a shit about what's uncomfortable and what I don't want to talk about. Doesn't care to read cues, social cues, because narcissists do not adhere to normal social norms. So they're going to push and push and push, and I'm still not going to fucking tell you. So you might as well let it go. I got rid of him. Some of the questions were good and they were really introspective, and others were invasive and he did not care that they were invasive. So I suspect I know the reason why your ass got divorced. Because if you did this to me, I can only imagine what you did to her. Okay? Wow. Those are inappropriate questions. You know, what went wrong in your marriage? Why'd you get a divorce? I mean, these are not things you should be discussing with people, especially right out the gate. Come on, man. Go with what your body feels. I listened to my body. My body felt more and more and more uncomfortable with him. And I'm going to pay close attention. Thank you, David. Wrong name, but y'all know what I mean. False name. Y'all know who it is. I'm going to pay close attention to if my fucking needs are being met. If they're not being met, you're fired. So, this is none of your goddamn business. Shut the fuck up. Mind your business. Don't ask me questions that make me uncomfortable. They don't really make me uncomfortable. I did videos about my childhood, so it doesn't bother me. But that's just not something that you should ask somebody. Tell me what went wrong in your relationships. Oh yeah, let me count the ways. Let me tell you everything that went wrong and how I was treated, and that is none of your business. Now I see why your punk ass is divorced. Anyway, yeah, there's just people who have intelligence, who are not brain damaged from narcissism, they know not to ask those questions. Those are not polite questions. Those are not relevant to getting to know somebody. You damn sure don't ask that before you laid eyes on the person. Social cues, a certain amount of intelligence is required to read social cues and know ahead of time, I shouldn't ask that. Just like you don't ask a woman, Are those your biological kids or did you adopt them? Why would you ask somebody something like that? That's fucking stupid. You don't, you just don't do that. I mean, sometimes men can be really dumb. I'm sorry, not all men, but especially narcissistic men. They're not with it. They're not with it. So they just don't get it, you know, or else they wouldn't be narcissistic. So, you know, and then some people just weren't taught anything. They just don't know what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. It's just, they're sheltered, but there's no excuse, because whatever you don't know, or whatever people have told you in the past before they dumped you, this is the reason I'm getting rid of your ass, you need to sharpen up on those skills. That goes for any gender. You need to sharpen up on those skills so you don't continue to make the same mistakes with everyone that you go out with. Learn about, go to YouTube and watch videos. You know, just be a gentleman. Don't be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Go to YouTube and learn and learn and learn. Soak it all up. What do you say to a woman? What do you not say to a woman? What is socially acceptable? What is not socially acceptable? There's no reason to not know. No reason. Too many resources out there. Okay? Love you guys. Take care.